Hi and welcome, Martina here. Today I will be creating with the Spellbinders Stitching Die of the month, August 23. As you see, there is a big background panel, a centerpiece which says hi, and a lot of small circles, flowers, and leaves. I already went ahead and die cut the background from a piece of white cardstock, and I'm starting to think about my design. And I have also already cut my high, and I just glued two pieces on top of each other to make it slightly sturdier. I then decided to go with a rainbowish pattern because I already created another card with the same dies, which is more elegant and purple and gold colored. It's on my Instagram. I will link to that video in the description box below so you can just watch it from there. But at the moment, I'm just looking for scrap pieces of paper which were still laying on my desk. I have these pre-colored, or I colored these papers with my magicals, but you could also use aquarelle colors or even colored cardstock, whatever your heart desires, and whatever scraps you have, because I feel these small die cut pieces, they are just amazing to get rid of your stashes of paper. I then decided for the colors where I want to add more than just two pieces, that I want to use at least two different shades of the color. That's why I have a darker and a brighter pink, and the darker pink will be with the smaller die cuts, the brighter pink with the bigger die cuts. And I will just keep on with that pattern for all colors, like the oranges, the smaller florals are the darker tones, the leaves are in the brighter tone, and so on. I hope you get the idea from looking at this panel. And again, just have a look on these very nice and handy tiny pieces. Again, just make sure that you think in the middle of creating a process of the creating process. I wasn't sure if I can fit all the colors of the rainbow into my project, so I had to go back and count and decide on which colors I can add and which colors I have to skip. But at the end, I ended up with, as I said, a pink and orange, a yellow, a green, an aqua tone, a brighter and a darker blue, and a brighter and a darker purple, as you see now. And I actually love the view I get now. So if you wouldn't know that this is something that you should or could stitch, you could also leave it as it is. But let's take this whole thing one step further. I have, as I said, two pieces of die cuts glued on top of each other. They're completely dried and flat, and I just pressed them into embossing ink and now covered them with embossing powder. Used my heat tool to make sure that everything embossing powder is completely molten, because like this, the embossing powder stays stuck on that die cut piece and leaves you with these amazing shimmery, slightly raised effects, which I absolutely love. And what I also very much like is that I have the Spellbinders Sequins, these gold flat ones without the holes. And I also have a golden thread, which I will be using later, which matches that warm, bright tone of gold just perfectly. And I think that's just, yeah, I like when colors match like this. But now let's get ahead. I have been gluing down that panel onto a card base. It's an A2 top fold card. That's my go-to card format, which I absolutely love. And I am then using some foam strips on the high. It's wide enough to hide these small pieces of foam. And if I'm honest and I have a look on this now, I think that could be a very wonderful, elegant card as it is. But as I said, let's take things one step ahead. I really like a shortcut when it comes to crafting. That's why I am wrapping my thread around these round rosette shaped die cuts. It looks absolutely fine and absolutely nice. And I enjoyed that I was able to get ahead quickly with this. And I decided that I will wrap all four circles that come into the corners of the die, of the background die, and then we'll just decide how I go ahead. When you die cut this big background die, you get some very thin imprints or small debossed, if that's the correct term, imprints of the placement of these die cuts, which I felt were very helpful when I had my foam squares in the centers of these places, and I was just able to align these colored die cuts perfectly because I had some guiding lines, which were, yeah, as I said, helpful. I am again making sure that I keep my rainbow order, sometimes double and triple check in, or adding in some more of these foam tames because I forgot some. But I mean, by the end of the day, it's something like painting by numbers because, as I said, you have these guiding lines which are super, super helpful. I will carry on to bring in all my rainbowish colors, and when I am done with that, I will be deciding if I will be leaving these die cut pieces as they are or if I'm going to add something into the centers, because I didn't know if I would feel that these holes in the middle of the die cuts are disturbing or giving me the feeling of there is something missing. And I decided that I am missing something, and I just went in with my Burley Arts glue and yeah, just placed some sequins on the die cuts. And I took care that I have the bigger sequins on the bigger die cuts and the smaller sequins on the smaller die cuts, but that's it. And I'm finished with the card and I absolutely love it. And just because I talked so much about the other card, on the right hand side, that's the Instagram card, and the other one is the one we just made. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.